Good morning. Beyond Boundary Lines with Hari Shankar, episode 9. Ah, okay. So today's guest, a very, very interesting guest. Opening batsman from New Zealand, cricketer from New Zealand, who has scored double century in World Cup, holds that as a record. And you guys know that, he shattered our dreams of winning the World Cup. The person who threw the ball to the stumps to take a run out of Martin, Dhoni. It's none other than Martin James Guptill. Okay, let's see if I can add him. Guppy, brother, I'm in. Okay, till then, if you have any questions, please, post it. I would be happy to, post your questions to Martin Guptill. We are expecting him to be in the show in another one or 2 minutes max. Guppy. Okay. Yeah. Guppy is coming. We're just waiting for him to join. Till then, I request everyone to, post their questions. Definitely, I will try to, host it to him. I'll find some interesting questions. If I find some interesting questions, definitely I'll post it. I think he's going to join in some moment. Till then, as you all know about Guptill, he's the highest, record. His current record is individual, highest individual score in World Cup. So 237 not out. I was requested to be part of it. Okay. Hi, Guppy.
Hi Harry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. How is the COVID situation there?
Um, we've after having about 3 weeks of no positive or active cases, we've gone back up to about around the 20 mark now, I think. So it's still reasonably under control, but we've still got a little bit of it here. But
Okay.
we always knew there was going to be a second wave, so it's a matter of trying to keep it at bay as much as possible, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Firstly, thank you so much for accepting my request to join in my show. Uh,
No worries. Thanks for having me, mate.
yeah. And what kind of any new hobby in this situation in this during this quarantine time? You developed some new hobby?
Um, A little bit. I bought a PlayStation actually, so I've been playing that a
Okay.
little bit. But apart from that, not too
Okay.
much else really. Just being at home with family has been quite
Okay.
a blessing.
Don't tell me that's also a cricket game.
No, it's not actually. It's a baseball game.
Okay. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Fine. Guppy, straight into the first question. I wanted to ask you, you play a lot of professional leagues, across the country. What kind of mindset you have whenever you start for a tour?
Um, for a tour, they're all different. I mean, you go around, you look around. I mean, I've played in IPL, the CPL, the Blast in England. Our own competition here in New Zealand, and I've played one game in the Big Bash. You sort of have to have a bit of an open mind when you go to
Okay.
these tournaments because it's all the conditions are so different.
Okay.
There's going to be wickets that you play on where you can go out and strike, between 160 and 200, and you're going to be going pretty well. And then there's going to be other times where, the wickets aren't conducive to stroke play so much, so you have to find a way of being able to, a strike rate of 120 to 130, maybe 140
Yeah.
is going to be good going on that sort of wicket. And if you can get to a total that you think that you can defend, you're doing a pretty good job. But it's all about adapting and being open-minded when you get to these countries in different conditions.
Okay. Fine. So how do you differ your preparations when it comes to T20 and ODIs and or Test?
T20s and ODIs not too different. You still got to look to be positive and play play your shots.
Yeah.
When I probably
Okay.
if I'm preparing for a T20 tournament or a T20 series, I'm probably doing a lot of work on the bowling machine, looking to strike the ball and hit the ball quite hard.
Okay.
I'll do a little bit of that for ODI cricket, but probably not so much. It's more about sort of working on technique and making sure that the feet are moving well, so that you can play that longer innings and make sure that obviously the rules are slightly different and you can bat a longer time. So being able to have it's still a good solid technique to be able to put up a big score in one day cricket is that's pretty key for me.
Okay. That's great. Hitting against a bowling machine works for you for the T20, is it?
Yes, it does. I've done that throughout my whole career, and it just gets me into a good strong position. And when the ball's in that zone, it becomes I guess like a habit and second nature to go after that ball. But I don't do it. Only for T20 really. It's about it striking and staying in the ball and be sure.
Okay. No worries. Okay.
Yeah, so as I was saying, bowling machine, I look to just strike the ball for T20 and because it's a big part of the game, a power game. Looking to clear the boundary, having a lot of fun doing it, and if you can have fun on the bowling machine training while doing it, it's gonna.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
Fine.
Got you back. There you go.
Okay, Guppy. Guppy, with respect to New Zealand cricket,
Hopefully that's better.
Yeah. One
Here we
second. No.
Got you back.
The network is still a little bit. Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
better. Now it's better.
Yeah,
Now it's
better
better.
now.
Yeah. So, Guppy, with respect to New Zealand cricket, you guys always are the best of World Cups, best teams when you come inside the World Cup. This is a question which everyone wants to know, actually. So, how do you guys, you reach semifinals? You guys, for the last two World Cups, you have lost in the semifinals. In the finals.
In the final,
So, after winning the semifinal, so how you guys deal with the losing part?
In 2015, it was a lot easier to deal with, just because we didn't play very well on the day, and we didn't deserve to win because we played bad cricket.
Correct.
2019 World Cup was a lot harder to get over. We tied the game. We then tied the Super over, and then we still did. We didn't really lose, but we didn't come away with any silver or anything like that. So that was a lot harder to get over. But at the end of the day, life does go on. There's a lot more happening in life than just a cricket tournament. So you wait. The sun comes up the next day. You wake up. You think to yourself, was that just a bad dream? And you sort of say, I wish it was, but it actually wasn't. So you get up. I was lucky enough. I had my family with me during the World Cup last year, and they were able to, get up in the morning and just be with my family, and it made it all, easier to deal with having them there and making sure that I wasn't thinking about it too much. So it was a nice distraction to have them there.
Okay. I mean, definitely, I wanted to post a question on family. Before that, on a cricketing perspective, everyone in India, 2019 World Cup, they were supporting only for New Zealand, right? Because for the only reason that you threw the ball, from the fine leg, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. It was somewhere around there.
Wow.
Somewhere.
Yeah. What a throw. So what was running through that moment? What was your reaction? Your mind, your mental state, because it was a third umpire review.
Yeah, it was, and it was funny because the angle that I was on when MS Dhoni had hit the ball, I thought it went straight up, so I didn't
Okay.
start running straight away.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, well, hang on a second, I've got to go, I've got to try and get this here because it's coming towards me, and everything just sort of fell into place from there. I got myself into probably one of the best throwing positions I've ever got
Correct.
myself into, and
Correct.
when I let it go, I thought, oh, that's actually not going to miss. And
Yeah.
when you have a direct hit, it's always close.
Yeah.
And I instantly turned around to the umpire and I said to him, well, what do you think? And he sort of gave me a bit of a smile and a bit of a nod. He thought it was out, but they're always so close.
No,
And,
his first reaction was like this. Ooh.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
as I said, they're always close. They're always closer than you think. And luckily for me, I was quick enough to get to it. And, on another day, I would have completely missed.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to your family perspective, you said family plays a major role. So
Mm.
how is the support from your initial days? How was the support? For all the youngsters out whoever is seeing the show, everyone's parents, obviously in India at least, parents' pressure is like a very, very big peer pressure for them. So how to handle that kind of pressure and how to take it in a parallel situation?
I guess for us, we're a bit lucky. We don't have that sort of same pressure, as you said. Our parents are very supportive.
Okay.
They want us to play sport growing up. So I was lucky enough to be able to play cricket and soccer and rugby, and have a hand in a few different sports to see what I liked.
Wow.
And cricket was always number one. My
Okay.
dad was a bit of a legend at our club, so I was always down at the cricket club.
Yeah. Okay.
Running around playing cricket. So that was always my first love, and he was always probably my number one supporter growing up, and probably my biggest critic at the same time as well. So it was, unfortunately, I lost him 3 years ago, and still a lot of lessons still learnt that I can remember over the years. So I still hold those close to my heart.
Okay. Fine. In general, your home conditions, your records are terrific. It is like one of the best cricket you have played. When it comes to away condition, it slightly drops down. Do you think any reason behind it? Is there any particular thought about it? Even in the kind of successful cricketer you are,
Mm.
the success hasn't been tasted in IPL, if I'm not wrong, because the Indians haven't seen you, what you are made of.
Yeah, I guess there's been glimpses when I've been in India. Like every now and
Yeah,
then, I'll get a good
yeah,
score and things like that, but
yeah,
probably not as consistent as I would have liked to have been.
yeah.
Can I put my finger on anything there? Probably not. Just
Okay.
it just sort of happens that way. I mean, we play so much growing up here, obviously, so we're used to these conditions. And going over to India is a different kettle of fish. It's hot, it's humid,
Yeah,
the crowd's noisy.
yeah,
Everybody loves cricket. They make a lot of noise, and it's just a lot different. And obviously India's got a world-class attack. They have had for a number of years now, and it's always a really big challenge going over and playing against them in their home conditions. So
yeah.
when we go over, we've got to be really on our toes. We had some great battles with India over there. We've had, I think, our last two series have gone down to the last game. Was it in 2017? I think it
Yeah,
was 1-1
yeah,
going into the last one, and we were in a really good position to win the third game, and
yeah.
we lost. And then I think it was 2016 we were over there and 2-2 going into the last one, and then we got beaten pretty convincingly. So we've had a couple of really good series over there, and we always seem to really get up for the challenge, and while we're over there, we have a lot of fun while we're doing it too.
Okay. So do you sort of analyze after every tournament to yourself, what went wrong or what went right? How do you do your post tournament debrief?
Yeah, you do. I think it's pretty important as a development, as a
Yeah,
cricketer, to debrief and I guess pick apart parts of your game where you may have not have got so well gone so well, sorry, and other parts that really went well, and you try and do the things that you went well better next time to be even more consistent. And you try not to dwell on the bad stuff, and you try, and if there's anything that's a tweak in your technique, you try and do that
correct.
as quick as possible. for the next series because the amount of cricket we play now, they almost all roll into one big. I guess the whole year that sort of rolls around pretty quickly.
Wow. Okay. Fine. Okay. So, how is the domestic circuit there? When is it going to start now after this COVID situation? Any idea?
The schedule hasn't been announced yet, but it usually starts in sort of late October.
Okay.
Um, it's still a bit cold early October, still a bit wet, so they try and leave it until the end of October.
Okay.
And then so hopefully we can start straight away because I think everybody's going to be wanting to play a lot of cricket once the time comes.
Yeah. Hope the life has come normal now. It is normalized, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. There's still obviously a few cases here, so it's hard to know what the new normal is going to be. But everyday life everybody's gone back to work. Everybody's back. In our case, everybody's back training. So it's nice to be able to see people at training and talk to them rather than have to be a few meters away and sort of almost having to yell at them to have a conversation. So it's nice to actually see the guys as well. I mean, with lockdown, we were here I think we were locked down for 4 or 5 weeks, and you're with the same people all day, every day, and then to go out and see other people is quite nice, and I guess socialise outside the people that were in our bubble.
Yeah, true, very true. Even that socializing, you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, you still do. I mean, it's not a laughing matter. This
exactly.
This thing. So you have to make sure that you're doing all the right things.
My reaction. As you say, I changed my reaction.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, there's no controlling it, is there? So you sort of have to be as careful as you can and do the right things to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe and your family safe from what can be a pretty devastating thing. Yeah,
true. Okay. Last but not the least, one question which I wanted to ask you, since I've met you, you lost your fingers in some accident, right? So how did you manage, and what is the kind of mindset you had that time?
It was I guess I was lucky enough that I was 14 years old when it happened, and I had the operation, and I had about 3 months or so off cricket. So it was over our summer, so it was pretty tough as a 14-year-old not being able to play any sport or anything like that. So it was hard, but I guess when you're that young, you're pretty resilient, and you're able to bounce back from things like that pretty quickly. So I was able to get back on the cricket field for the last game of the summer, and from then on, I've just had no issues, and I'm now playing international cricket as I'm living my dream, which is pretty cool to be able to say.
I mean, seriously, Guppy, only for this reason, the entire India, loves you.
Do you reckon?
No, I'm able to see the comments which are floating through. Everyone is commenting about that World Cup finals after you guys losing. The whole of India was in tears.
Well, were they? I was as well.
But not after the throw alone.
No, unfortunately for India, that's all part of sport, isn't it? If it wasn't me, it may have been someone else. So it's,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a great game of cricket, though. It was one of the best games I've been a part of.
Absolutely.
I have to say. So it's
Absolutely. Okay. Few questions from viewers. I'm just scrolling through and asking you, which is the favorite memory of your childhood coming into cricket?
Probably just playing cricket with my dad and my older brother in the backyard at home. That's where I started out playing, just having fun with them in the backyard, and then obviously going into when I started playing cricket and just loving it the whole way through age groups, and then obviously into playing for Auckland and then New Zealand.
Okay, fine. The next question is, so when will Guptill sir gonna come India to play IPL? Okay, he will come.
If someone ever picks me up in the auction,
exactly.
There's no answer for that one at the moment.
Yeah. Do you think about the World Cup final loss often?
Not too often. Obviously, it's almost a year to the day from the final, so it's there's going to be a lot of stuff on social media coming through in the next couple of days about what happened last year. So it's still going to be pretty fresh in the memory then. But other than that, it's so busy with training and things like that, and being with the family, that there's just not a lot of time to be thinking about that stuff. You'll get a
Okay.
nice distraction when I'm running around with my daughter.
Okay. Right. Is there any favorite moment in IPL which you want to recall, Gapi?
Um, Favorite moment? There hasn't been too many. I've only played 10 games or so,
Even
so
even
it's
the off-field activities which you want to recall.
um,
Somebody has asked, so I thought of.
it's I guess being able to experience when I was playing with Mumbai, um,
Okay.
the the atmosphere at the Wankhede Stadium is pretty electric.
Okay.
Being able to experience that is pretty cool. And then I didn't get to play for Mumbai there, but I got to play against Mumbai for Kings 11
Okay.
and Sunrisers, and so I got to experience it being on the opposition team. So it's a great stadium, and it's probably one of the best atmospheres that I've played in front of.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Last question from my side.
Yeah.
Difference between Bay's captaincy and Kane Williamson's captaincy.
They're obviously very different players. So they play the
Okay.
game a completely different way. So, see, Brendan, he was always leading from the front. He was always, the one. He would go into battle first for us, and we'd all follow him. And then you have Kane, who's a bit more reserved.
Yeah.
Plays cricket his way. He bats his style. But they're both very good thinkers about the game.
Okay.
They're very tactically knowledgeable,
Okay.
and then that's just shown how well we've done in the last two World Cups. We had two different captains, and the way they went about the business. Obviously Brendan was very explosive, got
Mm-hmm.
us going in games and things like that, and then Kane a lot of the time in last World Cup was sort of having to rebuild the innings because obviously we didn't do too well at the top, so he was always rebuilding and leading from the front that way. So two contrasting sort of players, but leading the team in their own way, which really helped us, get to the finals of the both World Cups.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Thank you, Gapi, for
No
joining.
worries at all. Thanks for having
Thank
me,
you
Harry.
so much. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. And I didn't, torture you with some questions.
No, not at all, not at all. I'm
Okay.
very happy to be part of it. So thanks very much for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Keep safe.
You too,
My
Harry.
best wishes to your family. Hope things, come to normalized situation, and soon the cricket starts in a full free, like how West Indies and England are playing now.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for having me. I appreciate it, mate, and hope everything returns to normal there soon as well.
Yeah, sure. See you. Thank you so much,
See you,
Gapi.
Harry. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. It was a very, very interesting and insightful, session with Martin Guptill. Until the next episode of Beyond Boundary Lines with Hari Shankar, I'm signing off. Thank you so much.